It's going to be one of those days. We got a tough story at the beginning of a cruise death and now an impending lawsuit. We also have a story of a person overboard, sorta, and another glass shattering incident on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. There's some good stuff in there too, but we got to get through those. All that and a whole lot more on today's episode. Let's go.
The cruise show, Tony B on deck, keeping you in the know. You are in the place for everything going on and cruising for your face. It's the cruise show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loco. Welcome to the cruise show. I am your host, Tony, here to talk you through everything going on in cruising. It's everything going on in cruising. It's for your face on a Wednesday, the 27th of August, 2025. And got some heavy stories at the beginning, but I've got some fun stuff in the middle. So we'll have ourselves a good cruise show. But first, let's talk about an incident that occurred last year in Bermuda, March of 2024. A reminder that cruising in its simplest form still can be dangerous. The picture here is of Hyun Duk Shin, father of two, and he was on the Norwegian Getaway last year in March. Him and his family, wife, two sons, they went to Horseshoe Bay in Bermuda on an excursion that was marked easy, and a beach day, just out there on the beach, some swimming, some snorkeling. And well, that easy excursion unfortunately turned deadly. While Hyun Duk Shin's mother and wife lounged on the beach, he got in the water with his two children. The two children come out of the water and they tell the mom that dad had gone to save a girl that had gotten caught in the ocean, and save her he did. He was a hero. He saved a girl that had gotten caught in an apparent riptide. But unfortunately, in that effort, he also got caught in the riptide. And the riptide's so severe that someone else tried to save him, and they had to be saved also. At the end of the day, Hyun Duk Shin was retrieved from the water, but he did not survive. The family is now suing Norwegian Cruise Line, saying that Norwegian Cruise Line should have known how dangerous Horseshoe Bay was. They've put forth a lot of evidence saying that other people had passed away there, that there were warnings about that area, and that by marking that excursion as an easy excursion, they gave customers an unwarranted sense of security. And now they're taking it to court, certainly suing for emotional damages and other things. But it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. This is a lawsuit that's been filed in the U.S. District Court in the Southern District of Florida. And certainly we'll keep an eye on it. But a sad reminder that even in the most sterile environments, or environments where you seemingly think there's no danger, sometimes there is danger. So everybody be careful out there. And certainly, man, what a challenging time that would be for a young family. Wow. Now, our next story is kind of a wild one. Yesterday on the Disney Wish in the evening, there was an alarm sounded for a man overboard. The crew members threw life preservers in the water. The ship changed direction and a search was initiated. In addition to a search being initiated, there was a full muster drill where every person had to go to muster and they had to be counted. I'm not sure how long all of this took, but at the end of the evening, Tuesday night, last night, it was determined that there was no person overboard, that apparently someone had seen debris in the water, had sounded the alarm for the person overboard, and it was just a false alarm. Certainly a random false alarm for an overboard, that's an oddity in cruising. And what may even be more odd is how Disney is responding to that false alarm. Messages went out this morning, Wednesday morning, to passengers that because of the inconvenience of the false alarm of the person overboard, every stateroom is going to get a $150 onboard credit for the inconvenience, for the challenges. That's a big move. That's a big, bold move, and way to go, Disney, for that. I don't think anybody would push back and say, well, maybe some people are wild, right? I guess some people would push back and be, I can't believe you made us go to muster drill to make sure that everybody was safe. But yeah, I guess you're really in trouble now if you start complaining after Disney has given you the $150. I didn't see that one coming. But again, the big good part of the story is that there wasn't actually anybody overboard. So there you go. Now I do want to circle back to something that happened almost a week ago, August the 20th, 2025. This was right at the height of all of the talk about Hurricane Aaron. And we had a ship out there that was hit by a storm that listed so significantly that people were afraid. It was a big listing tilting to one side where dishes fell on the floor, where people seemed a little uneasy. And the funny thing I've seen in social media where people's like, yeah, this is why you don't cruise during hurricane season, because you're going to get on a ship that gets all tilted over. Well, the interesting thing is this cruise ship wasn't anywhere near Hurricane Aaron. This actually happened on the West Coast. So let's do a little geography here. Hurricane Aaron spinning over there in the Atlantic up the east coast of the United States, and the ship that listed, the ship that got hit by the other storm, was over on the West Coast, Carnival Panorama. So one didn't have anything to do with the other, but it is kind of funny how people bring these correlations together, saying, look at that. Look at that. Now, like, we are smack in the middle of hurricane season. We've seen itineraries upended. We've seen cruise ships rerouted. And so, which is that the same thing as itineraries upended? There's things going on because of hurricane season. So I bring it up just as a reminder that when you cruise during these times, cruising isn't always as normal as it could be. Make sure you got your travel insurance in case you need to cancel, all of that kind of stuff. Unfortunately for the Panorama, while the listing was challenging and scary for people on board, it didn't last long, and of course everything leveled out and they got back on their way. Look, dishes sliding off of a table or salt shakers hitting the floor, that's some scary stuff. I had a similar situation. I was in a typhoon leaving Shanghai, China, going to Japan. I was in a typhoon for about 12 hours. I got thrown up and down leaving the theater. I was up in the buffet. Stuff was crashing on the floor. I didn't feel super unsafe, but I didn't feel as safe as normal. So imagine if all of a sudden the ship, tilts significantly for a little bit of a period of time. I'm sure you might, that would be scary. That would be scary, but hopefully everybody is doing okay in the aftermath of that. All right, can we take a little break from the challenging stories? I mean, I still have a glass-breaking story on another royal ship. I'll tell you about that, but first let me get some feel good in there. I gotta feel good. Let's get some feel good in there. This is a simple one. The Norwegian Aqua, Norwegian Cruise Line's newest cruise ship, has completed her first cruise from her new home port in New York City. New York City! That's right, New York City. Now, the ship's not staying in New York forever. It's going to be doing some double duty after it does these cruises in New York. It's going to reposition down to Miami, and then April next year it's going to go back to New York. So we got a little both places going on. But yeah, I've been on the Aqua. That's a great ship and certainly a nice option for people there in New York. Are you on it? Now, I do want to take a moment. I'm trying to develop a new segment for the show here called From the Ship. From the Ship, because a lot of times we just talk about all these weird outlier events that are negative. So, the cruising's a great thing. And so how can I incorporate some positivity, some from the ship positivity? So I've got a couple clips for you today. This comes directly from Star of the Seas. I was able to see all three shows that were on that ship. We had the new Back to the Future musical, we had the new ice skating show, and we also had the new Aqua show. And I didn't get to see the Aqua show, but I did get to see practice. So I'm going to show you two clips from the ice skating show, and I will show you one clip from the practice of the Aqua show. And I did see the Back to the Future show, and look, I think it's on me because I was very exhausted when I went to that show. I'd spent the day at Coco Cay. I filmed my ship tour that day. I was just trying to knock stuff off. It was a 3-day cruise. Just trying to knock stuff off the list of things to see. And I think that show finished strong, but I fell asleep a few times in the beginning of the show. Again, that's probably on me. I know a lot of people are loving that show, but I got to see it again because I didn't come away from it going, oh, I really love that Back to the Future show. But what I did love was the ice skating show. And if you've ever been to an ice skating show on Royal Caribbean, there's two things that you got to look for. And as somebody that's trying to capture footage, you feel like you've really done something if you can get both of these shots. The first shot is when the person does the backflip or the forward flip. Anytime anybody flips, if you can get a clip of an ice skater flipping, that's a winning day. And then the second thing is there's always this stunt in these shows where a big guy grabs a small ice skating lady and then he tries to hit her head on the ice. And I got that. And then I saw something on Star of the Seas I'd never seen before. Motorcycles on an aqua show. That's right. The Ball of Death. Do you know this thing? That was some of the entertainment from Star of the Seas. Such a fun cruise. And we'll finish the show with a story about glass breaking on another Royal Caribbean cruise ship. We've had glass fall down onto a deck. We've had part of a water slide fall down onto a deck. And now we have a glass shattering incident on the newest cruise ship, Star of the Seas. Look, I don't know what the deal is, but they got to make sure that this glass is okay. You can't have the glass breaking, especially on new cruise ships. It looks like it just shattered in place. Nobody was hurt. Guests heard the shattering happening, but fortunately, everything's okay people-wise, other than when's the next piece of glass going to break? Oh, man, I like walking over those Bridge of Sighs. They have them on like the MSC ships where you can look down into the water. This glass breaking is making me rethink that. That's everything going on in cruising. Thank you for watching the cruise show today. I appreciate you being here. And really, there's nothing left to do but dance. Get up. Get up.
I see something. It's coming up on the horizon. Oh. Let me clear my head and get rid of the distractions. Oh, I was down when I saw you in the clouds. Out of phase, filled with doubt. I was drifting in and out, levitate, fade away. I had left full time and space, but you just caught my eye. Hey, nah, please won't you come over? Let me get to know ya. Hey, nah, delve into emotion. Leave us in this moment. Yeah.